So instead of throwing an approach disc at 70 to 80%, I'm going to be using fairway drivers or mid-range discs and throwing them from 30 to 50%, which allows me to focus a little bit more on form and basic movement. So let's get right into it. This is just a flick shot, up shot, which is a forehand snap. You want to just be real deliberate here with your snap. You want to try to send it out level and just kind of point right at the basket. Another point here on my form, I'm just doing basically one step, transferring the weight from the back foot to the front foot. As soon as my weight transfers and my hips are moving forward like that, I'm snapping through. Pretty simple, easy shot when you look at it. Once again, these are understable fairway drivers. And I'm just flicking that wrist, keeping my elbow in as you would with any forehand shot. And just trying to build that muscle memory of what it takes to skip one up there. Now I'm going to slow this down a little bit and point out some obvious things. All of these discs are basically about the same stability. They're 5 to 8 speed, which is also the same speed. And as I throw these, you'll notice I have 2 of each disc, which is very important. That way I can make an adjustment, just like I do here with the second one. My first one was sort of a little too far left, but because I'm throwing the exact same frisbee, which is the exact same weight and brand and manufacturer and all those things, I'm able to compensate. Now I'm picking up another disc, and it's the same speed and stability basically, and so now I'm honed in. Now I'm really forming that muscle memory, what it takes with my hips to get my timing down. If I was to throw in a stable frisbee here, or do something that was a little faster, I'm really not going to learn anything from this field work because I'm changing the type of disc too often. So I always suggest, and a number one tip is to buy several of the same disc when you buy one, and then learn how to throw that one before you move on to another disc. Don't give up on it if you're turning it too much or if you're not able to flip it enough. Learn how to make that disc do what you want, then move on to your second disc.
Obviously with the flick shot, you're not focused on power, you're just kind of focused on form, being very smooth, being very fluid, very deliberate little flick with your wrist, and kind of a hip shot. So with any forehand, you want to keep your elbow on the inside and flick it. Other thing to remember whenever you're trying to improve at disc golf is it takes a lot of time, practice, and repetition. The champions in disc golf make it look easy, but they have been sculpted by numerous bad throws, tons of losses, endless failures, and you really are only as good as your next shot, which is why you want to keep on throwing.
Throwing well, especially with an approach or upshot, you really just want to get the feel of the throw. You don't want to overthink it. You want to minimize the movements of your feet. You want to coordinate the timing of everything. So it's really about getting up to that front foot as your elbow comes in tight to your body over that hip that's moving forward, and then you're going to end and follow through with a snap with your wrist. If you throw darts or throw a baseball or flick a knife, it's that same type of thing. It's that last movement that really sends the disc out at the speed and the rotation that you want, which is very important to getting consistent flight. But really it's just about establishing that feel. That way when you get out there on the course, you don't have to think about it. You're just repeating that feel. For more on this sort of thing, if you subscribe to my channel, I have some upcoming videos that will get into understanding stability and speed and how those two aspects work together to somewhat determine the distance and the shape of your shot. This will help you determine what speed, stability, and weight of disc is right for you at your current ability. It's very important to understand where your arm speed is and then what discs are going to work for that. If you go and throw what the pros are throwing, you're just going to hyzer out and fade left and go right into the ground, and you're not going to have much fun. So don't buy what the pros do until you learn. In case you're extremely new to disc golf, the numbers on the disc are speed, glide, stability, and then fade. So there's 4 numbers. If you look at this one, it is 8 speed, 6 glide, minus 3 turn or stability, and a 1 fade. Speed and stability rating are the most important when you're just starting at disc golf. The more understable the disc is, the easier it is to throw and get to turn flat, go straight. The speed is also, for us beginners and novice players, we have slow arms, so we want to match that arm speed with the disc speed.